Well, good evening and welcome to the grade two, the rising grade two parent evening. And thanks for taking time out on a beautiful evening. And this is an opportunity for you to have a chance to kind of see a glimpse into grade two. And this year, grade two looks very different than it has. Many of the grades look different, of course, in the pods, but grade two this year is especially different because they have 6 homeroom classes and 4 of them are in the Barton room, which is normally a wrestling room, which has been divided up into 4 classrooms. And then the case room, which has been divided into 2 to make 2 more classrooms. So we have 6 classrooms. Next year, we will be going back to the traditional 4 classrooms and back into the regular part of the school. But we're so thankful that you could join us tonight. My name is Mark Hanson, and I'm the head of the lower school. And tonight we have Alicia Crane and Jen Thompson, and they're going to walk you through some of the highlights of grade 2 as we get started. And I'm going to now introduce Brelly Ferenkopf, and Brelly is our associate head of lower school as well as the director of our early childhood program. So good evening, Brelly.
Hello. Hi, I see some first grade friends. Hi, guys. How are you? Good to see you. Thanks for being here tonight, everyone. We really appreciate it. We're excited. It's so close to the end of the school year, and we're already thinking about next year. First graders going into second grade. Alicia and Jen have some good stuff to share with you. But first, I'm gonna say, hey, Mr. K, can you introduce yourself?
Absolutely, Mrs. Ferenkopf. I'm Paul Kegelmeyer, and I'd like to welcome you to the Rising Second Grade Parent Meeting also. The second grade teachers have a lot of great information for you tonight. So without any delay, let's get this party started. So take it away, Jen and Alicia.
All right. Marco, slideshow. Welcome to second grade. We are very excited to have you. This is our team. We all currently teach second grade. We've actually taught together a number of years in different capacities, but we've been in second grade together for a few years. We're all moms, and most of us have children that have attend academy or have attended academy. And we've also taught a variety of grade levels, which is helpful just knowing where the kids are coming from and where they're going. So we've taught different grades in the lower school. And like I said, many of us have children in the middle and upper school and graduates as well. I have 2 graduates. So we are excited to start the journey with your children in the fall. Underneath, if you want any further information about us, underneath we have our bio links attached if you would like to learn anything else about us. C.A.R.E.S, I know you're familiar with C.A.R.E.S already. We start this, in pre-K, K1, it runs all the way through the lower school. By the time the kids reach second grade, they really have a nice grasp on all of these cooperation, assertion, responsibility, empathy, and self-control. Obviously, we still work on these things. Even as adults, we still need to work on these things. But these are carried through the classroom, through the specials. They're used on the playground, as you're aware. And it really goes well with our responsive classroom also. If you want to go to the next slide, please. Responsive classroom, we begin our first 6 weeks is really all revolving around those ideals mixed with C.A.R.E.S. We focus on building a community. Even though your children have been in academy, probably for a number of years, this is the first time we're gathering them specifically as a group. So we will take a lot of time to get to know them personally and make sure they know each other well. And start routines in the classroom, start to introduce them to some of our expectations, as well as making their own class rules that keep them in a safe learning environment. And then we start the academics. After the first 6 weeks, we pretty much have our routines down and we're off and learning. These are some of our areas of study. We'll go into the classroom community, immigration, family heritage, biography and states, Native Americans, and then we have added economics this year. So if we go into the next slide, we can get more in depth into our areas of study. building our classroom community again starts with responsive classroom. We have lots of community events throughout the year. In the fall and spring, we specifically have whole days set up as community days where all of our classes, hopefully next year, will be able to get together. We found ways to do special things in our classroom this year, and if need be, we will continue to, but we're hoping next year maybe we can have more time together as a grade level. We also have outdoor weeks. We do not, do forced Fridays coming into second grade, but we have whole outdoor weeks that we dedicate to being outside. And we also take the kids out a lot in the woods, and we use those on our whole facility on a daily basis. But we do whole week outdoor weeks, which is a little different than first grade. So the next slide. Our first big unit after getting into the year is our culture study and immigration. A lot of that is an exploration where the kids learn about why people came to our country, as well as their family history is from coming to our country. During the unit, we focus on refugees, enslaved people, and immigrants. We all came here for different reasons and in different ways. We have a very beautiful library, rich literature that we're always adding into that really show the stories of families coming to this country and some of the hardships, them coming here, why they come here, and some of the hardships after they arrive. And we also tie in, I'm sure you're familiar with Patricia Polacco. I'm sure first grade's read some of her stories. She is an immigrant to our country, and all of her literature, tells stories of her family and the connections that they have with each other and then coming here. And they're beautiful books. They're all picture books. So we read many, many of those. Throughout this unit, we do a project. It used to be a family tree project if you've had a child in second grade before. We've kind of changed it to a family heritage project. So you can still do that family tree if that's near and dear to your heart, but we give the children lots of other opportunities to share about their family in different ways. They can bring in pictures, they can make boxes and put in special things from their family. We've had videos, we've had technology used. So pretty much anything is open during that. We give the kids lots of ideas and give you lots of ideas. And I think we usually give you 4 to 6 weeks to even complete it. Our hope is that, you take the time as a family to talk about this and maybe reach out to grandparents and aunts and uncles just to gather more information. And we want to make sure your child has time to do that in a meaningful way. Then our next unit of study is biographies and states. Within both of these areas, we introduce research skills. The neat thing about second grade is they come in reading. We're still teaching them to read, obviously, but we have lots of literature at their level that they can use to do research on people or states. And we also have, also learned with this COVID, lots of online material that the children can listen to gather information. And we also connect with the library with Kristen Oath to gather research. So within the biographies, we concentrate on current people as well as historic people. So there's a range of areas of study that they can reach. When we do the states, they're introduced to different parts of the country, different regions. They're not expected to memorize the states any longer. I think way back when we did that, but it's more understanding the different regions of the country and what they have to offer, what the differences are. And then they pick a state to research and they get to choose that state. And the culminating event for that project is building a float. So many of you have had siblings that have done that or seen that in pictures, and they love doing that. And the floats include many things, often a famous person from the state, places, landmarks, land forms, land features. And then we have a state float parade This year we took pictures of it and the kids shared their speeches online. Next year, we're hoping to have our families in. And if we can't, it actually worked out really well this year. They still got to share their projects. We just videoed everything. And then our next unit of study following biographies and states is Native Americans. We used to, this used to be a fall unit for us. We have moved it more toward the winter, so it's coming at a different time of year. We kind of use the regions that we learned with the states, and we pick the same regions and study the Native Americans. The fun part of this is the kids are already familiar with the United States and some of the physical features. So then when we go on to the Native Americans, there's many, many groups. We choose different groups within our own classes. We usually try to hit 3 or 4 different groups that land in different regions of the country. The goal is for them to compare and contrast these different Native American groups. You know, the land gives different natural resources and areas, which then leads to different food, homes, clothing, traditions. And we also have lots of reading material. Some they can read on their own. A lot of the reading we'll do with the children as well. During this unit, there's lots of fun activities. We've actually done all these this year: dioramas, totem poles, dream catchers, Kachina dolls. They really have a good time making these things. And again, we have lots of picture books that are just really beautiful, that the children enjoy reading. And then our next unit is,
All right. Hi, everyone. I'm Alicia Crane. I saw some familiar faces and names on Zoom, so it's fun to see all of you guys. Welcome. Service is something that second grade tries to incorporate throughout the entire year. So we don't just have like one service day and be done with it. We try to do things tied in with our units or just whatever is going on at the time to try to incorporate it. So some of the things that we've done, we've painted inspirational rocks and we've hidden them around the school for other people to find and to see. We have made a snack mix and we've donated it to Faith Mission. We participate in the Kids for Kids Service Project, you know, November and December time. Other things we've done, we've written letters to service men and women. We've made dog toys out of recycled t-shirts, reused t-shirts that instead of throwing them away. We just have fun kind of trying to do stuff for the community, and we try to sprinkle that in throughout the whole year. And the next slide talks about our language arts. So reading, we use the Fontes and Pinnell program, which your children will be familiar with from first grade. Pretty much every day we have some sort of interactive read aloud, a mini lesson that goes along with it. We do independent reading every day so that the kids will spend anywhere from 10 to 20 minutes. We work on our stamina in second grade, and they just really, we want them to enjoy reading and to love reading. We will have guided reading groups, hopefully again next year. We did do a book club this year in both Jen's and my class, and that was a lot of fun. The whole class read the same book and we taught them how to have conversations with each other and ask questions. And so that was a really fun thing that we did this year. And reading will look a little bit different. We won't be sending books home like your child might be used to from first grade. We'll talk to the kids a lot about picking just right books and books that are perfect for them. And so they'll have a little bit more freedom this next year on what they would like to read for their independent reading. For writing, we have a writer's workshop every single day. We'll cover 4 different writing genres throughout the year. We start off with a personal narrative. We then move on to an informational report where the kids will get to research their own little topic. We will do an opinion and persuasive piece, and then we'll finish out the year with a fictional narrative. So that's what we're currently doing right now. So the kids are having a lot of fun just being really creative with their writing. Every day we have a mini lesson that goes along with whatever we're teaching for the day for their writing. There's a piece that the kids will read, or actually we will read to them that goes along with the mini lesson so they can hear numerous different writing pieces that go along with the genre. They will have a writing notebook where every day, incorporated with our mini lesson, they take notes on these little handouts that we give them. They cut them out, they glue them in. So they always have a resource to refer back to as they're writing. We will do journal writing, and we will also have an author's chair. So I know recently both Jen and my class had a lot of fun reading their opinion pieces to the kids and all listening to what they thought, such as, you know, having pizza every Friday, or how recess should be longer, or, you know, something like that. So that was a really fun thing that the kids love to do and just share their reading with each other. Word study will look a little bit different this year for the kids. It's our spelling program, and it's very developmental based on their stage. So we will give kind of like a pre-assessment to everyone at the beginning of the year, and it will tell us what group or what area that fits best for your child. So if they're still working on that bossy E, or, you know, those blends of letters, they'll be in the spelling group that fits their needs, and then they'll just work their way through the program. And then we will reassess in the winter time. Sometimes kids need to go back and kind of relearn some of those rules, and that's fine, because that's what's best for them. And some kids all of a sudden jump up a couple levels, and so then we'll move them up to where they need to be. But it's very developmental for the kids. And if we go back to an A through F day rotation next year, they will get new word lists on an A day, and then they'll have different types of homework that you know, might be drawing letters in flower at home, or bouncing a ball and spelling the words with a parent, or writing words in fun ways. So there'll be different activities for them to do. And then we will have our spelling assessment on an F day, and then we start the whole rotation again the next A day. Handwriting. So up until second grade, your child has been learning handwriting without tears. Starting in second grade, though, we will make the switch to Danielian, and we will spend the whole year focusing on adding those cute little tails and little, you know, curly pieces to their letters, because it will really help prepare them for cursive, which is coming. So Danielian is just a different style of writing. We will talk about hand position and how the letters slant a little bit different. We'll be also working on, you know, sizing down their letters in their writings. You know, some kids are still using a couple lines to write, but we will work on kind of narrowing that down, staying within margins. So there's a lot that goes into handwriting, but we will be switching over to Danielian in second grade. Math will be very similar to what your children are used to. We use the Envisions program. We love this program. We give pre-assessments at the beginning of the chapters to see where kids are. That really helps us know if we need to you know, give a little bit more support, or if we have some kiddos who do really well and know a little bit more about the concepts, we can give them some more enrichment activities. But it will be very fluid with groupings. You know, we might have a couple groups of kids working on a skill in one math or in one topic where they need a little bit more assistance, but maybe when we get to the next topic, they actually are a little bit stronger in that topic, so they'll be in a different group. So it's very fluid. We use our associate teachers a lot to help teach math, to help do some groupings. And so math is just, it's really, we're able to really pinpoint and help kids one-on-one with that. And then at the end of a chapter, there will be a post test to see what they regained from the chapter. And then it will let us know if there's anything that we need to go back and help them kind of work some more on. There are a lot of different aspects we use. We have videos, there are online games with the Envisions. Our math block, pretty much every day, we start with the video that we watch as a whole group. We do some problems together as a class. Then they move into some independent work in the classroom. Then they'll come up and get checked with the teachers. We'll go over the problems with them. If they need to go back and make some corrections, or if they're good to go, we might send them off to work on math facts or do something else math related. And then at nighttime, they'll take home their math worksheet. That is their homework. And it will always reinforce the concepts that we have learned that day. We do a lot with Marcy Cook tiles, with problem solving. We really try to encourage the kids to work really hard with their math facts. We would love for them to know their addition and subtraction facts. And we talk a lot throughout the year, if we say, what's 8 plus 8, we know that's a double, then 8 plus 9 is a double plus 1. So we practice them in the classroom. We have apps on our iPad that we can use. We teach them card games. We have different games in the classroom that we can use. And then we do ask families to practice it at home as well to help reinforce that. And then we use ST Math quite a few times a week on the iPad. A lot of problem solving goes into that. A lot of times the kids will come up and, they'll show us like, I can't figure it out. And sometimes, after they've tried a couple times, then we try with them and we're like, oh yeah, we have to it's trial and error. So it's fun for them to figure it out and to watch us watch their learning on the iPad and try to work through problems that might be a little bit challenging, because if you're unfamiliar with ST Math, it doesn't give you the direction on what to do. It just, you have to figure it out on your own, but it really helps their math thinking and their mindset with math just really grow. All right, geography and map skills. We have a map skills book that we will work in throughout the year. We will talk about globes and maps, like Jen said, with our social studies too. It kind of goes along with that. We'll just talk about different places around the world. The one big thing that we work on in second grade is continents and oceans. And so we will learn all the continents and the oceans by the end of second grade, and the kids will be able to identify them on a map. So that's a big thing for us. And it's just kids love map skills. They just really enjoy this time of our day. But these are the different things that we'll be going over. Homework. We will start a homework log in second grade, and it will be a sheet of paper where the kids can keep track of their daily assignments. And in every classroom, we have a giant one that's on the wall. So we write it with the kids, and then they transfer that onto their paper. So we are helping them learn how to keep track of what is expected of them for the nighttime. But typically every night we ask that parents try to get in 10 to 15 minutes of reading. Sometimes we know that kids are super busy. We'll say, hey, throw a book in the car, maybe on the ride home. You can spend 10 minutes reading. So every night we would like to see kids read. Usually there will be some word study homework where they're practicing their spelling words in some fashion. Math facts, like I said, math facts is an ongoing thing throughout the whole year that we would like kids to practice. And then there's a nightly math worksheet that, has not very many problems, maybe 6 to 8 problems that just reinforce what we did that day. All right, some of the fun things that we do, fingers crossed, we get to have buddies next year. That was something that we missed this year, but we're paired up with 5th graders. And so we will get together with them and do different activities. We love to celebrate birthdays. So make sure just to contact us prior to your child's birthday. Typically parents come in and they read a story and they bring a snack. Granted, this year we couldn't do that. So we did some stuff virtually, or the kids brought a book and a snack in a store-bought snack, not a homemade snack this year. And it actually has worked out pretty well. The kids actually have enjoyed reading their own book to the class, so that's been fun. But we do love to celebrate birthdays in second grade. And then we love to have read-ins, and the kids love to have read-ins where we'll spend the day making our blanket forts and bringing a bag full of books and a cozy pillow, and we'll spend the majority of the day reading. And it's just a fun thing that we enjoy doing. We do it maybe about 3 times a year in second grade. So that's something fun to look forward to. All right, these are our email addresses. If anybody has a question, feel free to reach out to us. We're super excited about second grade. It's a fun year.
I have a
Thank you
question.
very much. We really
sorry.
appreciate your time and all the expertise that you shared with us and the excitement of grade 2. Feel free to put any questions into the chat now, or if you want to just unmute and ask. It's a fairly small crowd, so don't be shy. And if you have any questions, I think you heard, if we're back doing this and that, just to kind of give you an update on that. We plan to be back in with our normal homeroom classes next year. I mean, nobody has a crystal ball, but we plan to move back out of the pods and using as much of the dining hall and going to our co-curricular classes as much as possible. Now we may be still in masks for classroom time, or maybe outside. That's hard to know, but as of now and the direction things are going, we certainly hope to have a more regular A through F cycle of classes and kind of getting back to normal, which will be lovely. So any questions?
I have a question. Thanks, Jen and Alicia, for this very nice presentation. So I was wondering whether there is anything that we should do over the summer, not to forget about certain things about math or other things, or would reading just be enough?
You want to go, Jen?
Well, we love reading, as you know. That's probably our most recommended thing would be to read. Coming out of first grade,
I would suspect, I mean, I know for our math book, at the very end of our math book, there's a step up to third grade. I would assume that there's a step up to second grade section that the teachers will be sending home in your math book.
Well, I know also, I think that's a very good idea. I would think you would have that. And then the writing, I know first grade they have a lot of books available for the children to write in. So, I mean, maybe just follow suit as what they've done is, making a little book for your child, to draw in or write in a little bit with their summer experiences, just to
Like
keep
a summer journal.
Yeah, even if it's more drawings, that's fine, in a couple words. Reading is probably the most important thing for us.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
A few questions in the chat. Would CASE be open next year? Yes, the plan would be for CASE to be open. CASE is open now on a limited basis, of course, it's after school, but we would hope that it would be used more as it has in previous years, where you can either drop in or you can sign up for, for a quarter at a time. Are the co-curricular classes the same as first grade? So maybe Alicia or Jen, if you want to talk about which co-curriculars and the frequency that you have this year, or in normal years, I should say, I guess.
Well, we have swimming once a week, Spanish a couple times a week. Spanish was a little less this year, I think. Do you remember how many times we had Spanish, Alicia, last year?
I want to say 3 days,
3
3 times in a 6-day.
And then science was once a week, but it was a longer period than it had been before. Music.
How quickly we forget.
I know, isn't it? No.
And
Music twice a week, maybe?
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at my schedule now and we have music once in a 6-day, but
it changed with COVID. So yes, we aren't getting quite as many. I feel like usually there's a special generally in the morning and in the afternoon. The days that they don't have a special, in the morning or afternoon, they definitely go outside and have an extra recess. I feel like
I
they had
think-
PE a lot.
Yeah,
times.
PE, art, once in a 6-day, swimming once
Technology.
in a 6-day, technology. I'm pretty sure the co-curricular classes are similar to what first grade was. We will have a different science teacher than what they've had before.
Is the music teacher different as well?
Yes, Mrs. McLaughlin is switches for us this year. But I think other than that, everything else is the same as what they've had in the past.
This year, we went from a 6-day cycle to a 12-day cycle because we had 48 homeroom classes. So going back to the 6-day will be interesting. Some other questions. What are the normal class sizes? It always depends. I would say probably between 15 and 18 is the normal, I think, class sizes in most of our classrooms. We have in second grade, there's one teacher and there's an associate in the classroom for 5 hours every day. The associate teacher's helping with math. I'll let Jen and Alicia take that one. In kind of what areas do you use your associates most in the classroom?
We use them for math. I think everybody uses them for math, and then sometimes for reading, sometimes for writing. I mean, wherever we want to have the children in small groupings, which changes, depending on what we're doing, but always math and then reading or writing. So we're very fortunate. I mean, sometimes they'll even pull 1 or 2 children if they need enrichment or extra help. They're used a lot in that way as well. It's just nice having a whole nother set of hands.
Any other questions that you have?
Mark, there was one thing that came up about what they can do with their students over the summer or whatever. All the teachers send out with the report card or at the end of the year opportunities for kids to do over the summer. So there will be many opportunities that you will see on a sheet of paper that they will give the first grade to the first grade parents. A lot of different things that you can do with reading, writing, math, etc.
And later this month, one of the things we're doing is Paul Brelli and I, we're going to do a webinar on summer math and reading. And so to give parents some ideas of different things you can do, not so much workbook-based, but more kind of creative things and things you can do outside, and just kind of fun things to do to keep your kids motivated with math and reading over the long summer. Sports offered at this age. I see one. I'm pretty sure. I'll have to check. And it sometimes changes that most of the PACA sports begin with 4th grade, and that's normally when sports are offered for the PACA sports that go through with our parent coaches and through our athletic department. That's when the sports pick up.
And then Mark, did you see the question about musical instruments? Will strings be offered for 2nd grade next year?
Normally we're moving to 3rd grade with strings, and we'll just kind of see. This also depends on the size and how many students we have interested in the strings coming up, because it always fluctuates, and this year it's been really challenging with the numbers as well. So I think we'll have to kind of get an idea of the interest also in 2nd grade, if there's much interest in offering strings for the after school program. Well, I hope you've learned a little bit about 2nd grade. I think it's, hopefully your children have come home this week, and now we're starting to, we're having 2 pods mix, or 2 homeroom classes are starting to mix, which is exciting for the children, because they've really been with their small group of students the entire year at recess and lunch. And now, at least at recess time, we'll be mixing. They started mixing with another pod group. We also, the celebration of accomplishments, we're going to be inviting parents in. So thanks for signing up. You're of course welcome to continue by Zoom, but we would love for you to come in if you'd like and kind of see the school, and we'll have a whole bunch of different entry points so we don't congregate in areas, but we'd love to have you come in and see what your children have been doing all year in school. Okay, Jen and Alicia, there's one about with no Forest Fridays, but sometimes outside time, are outdoor clothes sent in and left at school in second grade, or just boots, snow pants?
We always do boots and, rain boots in the fall and spring, winter boots in the winter. We don't mind if they have the same pair all year, but we've encouraged our kids to keep extra pants, snow pants or rain pants here all year, because we do go in the woods a lot and we just want them to be able to get dirty, honestly.
Somehow they find mud.
Yeah.
No
they
matter
do.
what. Yes. And for extra clothes though, typically if something happens, we just get clothes out of the clothing closet. We don't have them keep an extra set of clothes with us. Like Jen said though, like if it's an outdoor week, we might ask parents to send in clothes because we just know that something's going to happen. But typically we don't keep like a set of extra clothes. But you're always more than welcome to send some in.
Well, again, thank you so much for joining us, and thank you for all your support this past year. We know it's been a very interesting year, but we feel really successful. Thanks for keeping your kids safe and healthy, and keeping them home when they had the little sniffles. And we feel like the best thing we did this year was to have school all day and all year long. And so thanks for all your support. And we know it's been challenging not being able to come inside. So we hope at the celebration of accomplishments, you get to come in and see the school life again. And even though it won't be filled with kids, you'll get to kind of see the energy of the building. And we thank you again, and have a lovely evening. And we'll see you in second grade, but we'll see you in the car line tomorrow. Have a great evening, everyone.